All right, we're here with Elkhorn North head coach Sam Stanley, a program now entering their fourth year, really one of the faster rising programs in the state of Nebraska. You guys made a big jump in year three and probably a top 5 level team in Class B heading into year 4. Just kind of speak to the growth of your program.
Yeah, we're really proud of the strides that we made this past year, but I know that the record made a big jump, but we've been moving towards that for a while, and so just really proud of the players and their level of investment, even through some pretty challenging times. When the record wasn't so great the first couple years, but we've had some really outstanding leaders that have believed in the program and believed in what we're trying to build, and they've worked very hard to get to where they're at. So we're proud of what we accomplished last year, but far from satisfied too.
Our first 2 seasons we ended 1-8, and this last season we ended 7-4, and with a playoff win. So, I mean, it's awesome that we were able to grow that much. So.
Now you're 6'5", 265. How much have you seen your body change, develop in the last 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, coming into freshman year, I was just under 6 foot and 185 pounds. So I've really been able, hitting the weight room, I've been able to my body has been growing a ton.
80 pounds?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd hate to see the shopping bill.
Oh, yeah, my mom, not a huge fan of that.
Well, freshman year I was on freshman team, and then I took a big jump to go to varsity in sophomore season, and I had a pretty good year. I had 500 so receiving yards, and the whole program kind of changed around. Two first years we went 1-8, and then we went I think it was 7-4, so definitely turned it into a winning season, and we're just going to build off that as a team.
Yeah, you're already 6'5" and almost 6'5.5", 200 pounds. That frame that you have you always been this tall, or did you kind of just take a big growth spurt in the last year?
I've definitely always been a taller kid, but I've been growing lately. I did hit a growth spurt a few months ago to get me up to 6'5".
And I think the most remarkable thing about Sam is how athletic he is and how explosive he is, even though he's putting weight on and putting on muscle mass. He's maintained and improved his agility, his explosiveness, and I think that's what's really most impressive about him.
Yeah, a 28-inch vertical on a 5'1" 40, and then he came out to this event here at Warren Academy a few weeks ago, and I think everybody was like, wow, who's that kid?
Right.
I mean, I think he's a guy probably that's going to have to continue to keep – every time he goes somewhere, I think more people become interested is what it feels like.
Yeah, he's very impressive, and I think that he's an excellent thrower for our track team as well. He'll throw shot and disc this spring, and I think he'll put up some pretty impressive numbers and just kind of again display that explosiveness.
And Nebraska, Wyoming, K-State, Northern Iowa, Iowa State, the usuals for the area. I mean, what have you heard from some of those programs?
Everybody's been just very impressed with how he looks. I think that's been the most consistent piece that I've gotten from coaches, and again, it's the athleticism that he displays at that size. I think is what stands out to most.
I've been getting looks from a lot more colleges recently, and just what I've been hearing is just keeping on working on footwork, especially for O-linemen, and just especially for me, I need to get better at my pass set, so I've really been trying to focus on that as well.
And then finally, Chase Lofton, and obviously the last name's familiar for people in the area because his brother was a great tight end in Omaha, then went over to Council Bluffs at Lewis Central. But it's hard to miss Chase. I mean, he came in today already 6'5.5", almost 200 pounds. You've got a guy now for the next 2 years that's definitely going to get a lot of attention right there.
Yeah, Chase had an outstanding sophomore season for us, and Chase, his dad played college football at Iowa, his brother's at K-State, and so he's got genetics on his side as well. But what I was most impressed with Chase as a sophomore was just how well he handled big moments. He was a huge part of our offense as a sophomore, and we were able to lean on him, when we needed plays to be made. And I think that that really is what he brings to the table more so than anything is his ability to make plays, to come up for the team when we need him the most. And he's just one of those guys that everything's easy. I mean, he makes everything look easy. He's smooth, and at that size, you just don't see that very often.
You had a brother that plays at Kansas State, as we talked about. Just watching him go through what you're going through now, what did your brother teach you about the recruiting process and kind of how to go about things?
He definitely taught me that the coaches are looking for like speed and strength and like the ability to make plays. And he always just says, be humble and keep a good character.